I want to talk about, does it matter what high school you go to if you're trying to play high level basketball in college? The reason why we need to talk about this because kids always transfer schools. They always put in themselves in different situations, and to be honest with you, it all depends on the player. Now, you're trying to play high level basketball, right? Say if a kid was at a public school and they average about 20 something points, and then all of a sudden they go to a Catholic school, and then they think that their career is gonna blow up because they're at this Catholic school or this private school or this big name school. My problem with that is a lot of those kids, they average 20 something points. They go to Catholic school, and then their points drop to like 9, 8. It's not the fact that they're not good enough to play there or they're not as good as they were. Their roles change. It's all about your role. It's not about what high school you go to. It's about what role you play at the high school and if you're going to be in a winning situation or if you can be a main factor in the winning situation. That's what it's about. So if you're in a public school and the coach gives you got let you shoot the ball, let you do whatever you want. And you can shoot as much as you want, you can do whatever. Like the coach giving you the keys to do whatever you want to do. That's the best situation to be in. Because now if you go to the Catholic school, they might have another guy, and then you lose that role as being the main factor in the offense. The thing is, experience is everything. You gain experience by playing, not by sitting the bench, not by doing a lot. Like, you get experience from playing. Now, there's nothing wrong with being a role player. It all depends on what you're trying to do. If I'm a shooter and I'm in a public school and I don't have a lot of good guys around me, maybe I should go to the Catholic school because now they have a better point guard. They got better plays to get me open so I can showcase my jump shot. And that's the role I want to stay in. That's fine. But if you're a guy that wants to be a big impact on the offense, you gotta really consider what school you go to, as in who's gonna give you the keys to play. Another thing, when it's time for college, to be honest with you, if you take care of your business in the off season, playing AAU and playing wherever you want to play, wherever you've been playing, and you showcase your talents and people see you and you create buzz around the country or wherever you play, they're going to follow you to your high school. See, what a lot of people don't realize is college coaches are busy with their season the same time you're in your high school season. So they don't have time to really be paying attention to who's playing. But in the off season, that's when they're doing all their recruiting. So they have time to see you play in those AAU tournaments, in those or hearing about you in an open gym or any of that. They got time. So if you create the buzz in the off season, it really doesn't matter what high school you go to. Because if you're on a AAU team that's playing one of them circus and y'all winning games and they see you and they like your game, they're gonna follow you to whatever high school you at. I don't care if it's a hole in the wall, they're gonna follow you if they love your game. So it doesn't really matter what high school you go to. It all depends on your situation. That's what it all depends on. Also, when the coaches recruit you, a lot of times they recruit you for what role they want you to play in their college. So if you're a guy who's a point guard and you dominate the ball and you're able to get in the lane and get people the ball, sometimes it depends on what offense you sitting into college. Sometimes they don't want you to dominate the ball. Sometimes they just want you to do that. That's why you go make sure you go to all your visits. That's another thing. Always make sure you go to all your visits. And you always ask them a lot of questions, because that's another thing. That's another video. But yeah. So they might see that and be like, you know what, I need that in my system. Or if you're the man on your team and you're averaging like 30 points, 35 points, and you've been getting busy against all defenses and doing a lot of time, college coaches will recruit you so you can do the same thing on their team when they go to. Now, if you was in a public school and you was the man and you was doing all of that, and then they put you in you end up transferring to a Catholic school, and then you playing a role, you might be recruited just to play that role that you played at that other school. So these are things you gotta think about. There's a difference between all of that. Like I know kids when I was in New York who had schools, who had high schools that was gonna give them the keys, and then they go to, I don't know, a Chrysler King or Bishop Lachlan or any of those big time schools. Or even down here, kid might be in one of these public schools out here in the DMV and go to a DeMath or any of those other schools. And then they end up playing 12 minutes a game, where at the other school they don't come out the game. See, the thing is, it's not about what school you go to, it's about the situation. Same thing in college too, but it's about the situation. That's what's most important, the situation, not the name of the school.